what's a tea room without a teapot? This one's being used as a flower pot. There were probably pictures hanging here before. Either they were destroyed in the fire, or were taken down to be restored. What are these marks? It looks like mildew. Ugh, not that healthy. What are these marks? It looks like mildew. Bills, 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 bank statements. Envelopes with nothing in them. Huh, who's this one from? Città del Vaticano, Roma, Italia. It's from the Vatican. What did Victoria have to do with the Vatican? It's really quite pretty, this ostrich egg cup. The clock has stopped, probably during the last century. Maria, the mother of all statues. Ugh, what horrible things. Beats me what people think is so great about statues of naked kids with wings. The plinth is probably marble. The plinth is probably marble. Horse breeding was once a big thing here. The sculpture probably originates from that period. £6,000 is paid in every 3 months. No indication of who it came from. It just says here it was paid in over the counter. The last entry is 4 months ago. And the account was virtually empty 2 weeks ago. By Valentina Antolini. Authorized by Victoria Gordon. That must have been money for the construction guys. An empty envelope with the Vatican crest on it. According to the postmark, it was sent 2 weeks ago. A huge oak bed. Presumably it used to be William's and Victoria's bed. William died more than 12 years ago. The White Lady. The Great Mystery. Hey! What's going on here? The blood is gone. But there's a black mark just where I touched the picture. Or was it there already? No, I'd better not handle it again. This is the monitoring equipment and medication Victoria used. Shouldn't Miss Antolini have taken these away with her? Or is someone else from the diocese coming to collect them? Looks like I'll have to take care of it. A shelf with books, souvenirs, and caskets on it. Probably full of memories. Reminds me of Lady Eleanor's castle in Wales. But during better days. When Tom was holding me prisoner there 3 weeks ago, it was already half sunk in the marsh. Hairbrushes, makeup utensils, creams, Victoria's cosmetic stuff. This is Victoria's jewelry. Rings, necklaces, and earrings. This is Victoria's jewelry. A plush stool. Like lots of things in this room, it's red. There are lots of cupboards. This is probably Victoria's dressing room. Oh look, green ghost lamps. Very homely. A mattress seems to be a bit too unusual to serve as a hiding place for the Gordons. A mattress seems to be a bit too unusual to serve as a hiding place for the Gordons. A stack of old pictures. Looks like they were rescued from the fire. A lot of them have caught smoke damage. There are some paint buckets drying up here. Who knows if these walls will ever come in contact with it. Boxes full of stuff. I guess no one would have missed it if it'd been burned. The door is closed. I've got the right key here. The door's unlocked. I assume that there's wine stored in these barrels, but as old as everything here is, could be vinegar by now. These are pipe clips, like metal cable ties. Extremely useful. Quick setting foam, industrial quality, particularly suited to damp areas. The castle's almost completely burned down. No wonder it's so filthy everywhere. A stepladder, like you'd use to change a light bulb, or to hang yourself. There's cleaning stuff, just no one to use it. Great, an extension cable. Huh. Why should the cellar light in Blackmare Castle work? The bucket is half full of a white salt, probably for when it's icy. The bucket is half full of a white salt. Pretty tall, this greenhouse. It's more like an orangery, where lemon trees are housed over the winter. The door is practically rusted solid to the frame. It's obvious that Lewis hasn't seen the inside of the greenhouse for more than 3 weeks. This is in dire need of a good tidy-up. Welcome to the jungle. Half of it is dried out, and the other half is rotten. What have we got here? A garden hose. Hoses have always brought me luck so far. That was a bucket for water. Maybe I can use it for something else. A statue. Is that the white lady? I doubt it. She's too scantily dressed. Oh God, I see her everywhere, even though she's not there at all. Still, it's a shame she's got so dirty. That must have been one hell of a rake. Now it's just a long wooden stick. The bottom part is broken off. A withered plant. It says Valeriana walrathi on the label here. It's very unusual to put carpet down in a greenhouse. The gaps between the tiles haven't been cemented. The tiles here have only been placed loosely next to each other. The tiles here have just been placed loosely on there. There's a trap door underneath them. So where does that lead to? Far down, in any case. It looks like an old well shaft. There's a case on a sort of ledge. Who put that there? I can't reach it. That was probably a rake handle once. Pipe clips. You can secure pipes with these. I've attached the clamps to the stick. In theory, you can now attach even more stuff to it. A cast iron M. I don't have one of them in my collection. Excellent. I now have a sort of grappling hook. I'll need to use all my skill here. Otherwise, it's gonna fall off of the ledge. Got it. A black plastic case. Let's see what's in it. A 10-pound note, a bottle of wine, and a notebook. Maybe it could tell me something about the owner. Aha! Here on the first page it says, Henry Stanton. What did our Henry write about then? Well, that's interesting. He appears to have been some kind of informant. At least, he recorded everything meticulously when he saw any castle residents in the tea room. 3:00 p.m. Tea time ends. Victoria forgets to close the horse again. 3:15 p.m. Bates checks the lock. Note, the key is hidden at Old Durgham Gordon. 4:00 p.m. Tea room empty. Use the opportunity. 4:30 p.m. Visit of Dr. Herman. And it goes on in the same vein. And here's a drawing of a horse. Not exactly what you'd expect from a castle garden. Looks like Lewis hadn't taken his job seriously for quite some time. This is the horse Henry described in his notes. This is the horse Henry described in his notes. So, Fury, where's your secret? Well, if that's not a button... Nothing's happening. 7 small holes all next to each other. These could be used for ventilation if any of Mordred's colleagues are living in there. But it kinda looks like you put something into them. Am I just imagining it, or are those actually scuff marks? Let's see. Maybe this Durgam Gordon is here somewhere. Looks like there's no Durgam Gordon among these. The only names are Lillian, Garma, and Lothar Gordon. The other pictures just have the year. If I knew which one of them had lived when, then I could narrow down the choice. Durgam Gordon, let's see. Ah, this is him. Married to Lillian Gordon. Durgam Gordon, let's see. Ah, this is him. Married to Lillian Gordon. Lillian Gordon was Durgam's wife. Her portrait was painted in 1662. Here's one dated 1659. It could be Durgam. I can't make anything out at first glance. There's nothing unusual on the back either. This must be the portrait of Durgam Gordon. The frame is charred, but the fire doesn't seem to have touched the picture. The piece of frame seems to be loose here. Maybe it got broken in transit. It doesn't look like the piece just broke off accidentally. It was sawed off. What's this? There are 7 small holes here, just like on the stone plinth. Toothpicks, a full pack. All I need is some finger food. The holes vary in depth. A charred piece of picture frame. There are 2 metal pins in it. A great idea. I'll break the toothpicks off at all the same length, and then put them in the holes in the piece of frame. That way I'll have a copy of the key. A masterful display of improvisation. Maybe not as beautiful as the original, but I hope it works just as well. There you go. It fits. I heard a clicking sound. Ha! That's it. Whoa! There must be thousands of pounds in here. No one had better know about this. The inspector would have a field day. I'll just take a few bills with me as payment for the useful Mr. Gregg. Wow, a really ancient letter. From Mordred's time. With a coat of arms and a seal. Looks like it was from a king. The letter is from a scribe of Pope Innocent III. It contains instructions for further procedure in terms of the incident with Mordred. Letter from the Holy Father Pope Innocent III to the faithful follower Lord Marcus Gordon, Duke of Blackmere. Esteemed Lord Marcus Gordon, I am writing in great anguish concerning the developments in the case of Mordred. My instructions regarding further modus operandi are to be carried out immediately as follows. Firstly, I demand the utmost secrecy and the sealing of all entrances to the ritual room. Furthermore, an academy will be established to conduct more thorough research into the possibilities for the 5 small portals. Concerning the large portal, all records and documentation are to be sent to the Vatican immediately, as the very foundations of Christendom would be shaken should its existence become generally known. Any talk, thoughts, or writings regarding the Shade Portal shall be deemed an act of heresy and shall be punished in accordance with the rules of the Fourth Lateran Council. Therefore, until the papal revocation to decree otherwise, the Gordons are henceforth responsible for ensuring that no one comes too close to the Shade Portal. With great faith in you and unending trust in God, I send you my apostolic blessing from the Vatican 29 Septembris 1213 on the feast day of the Holy Archangel Michael, Innocent III, formed from the earth, conceived in sin, born to be punished. Should man commit an evil act that is forbidden, a shameful act that ill behooves him, a vain act that is of no use, he shall in the end become fuel for the fire, food for the worms, and a heap of putrefaction. De miseria conditionis humanae, on the misery of the human condition. Someone has written something on the back, but the writing doesn't look as old as on the front. The menhir in the hall must be hidden. The menhirs that stand around the castle seem to be directly connected with the demon gates. I wonder if that's what Victoria was trying to tell me before she died. I should note down the location of the menhirs on my map. I'll close the safe again, just in case. Huge skull above the door. Makes you feel right at home. Whatever's being mixed in here, it can't be cement. Otherwise there'd be a pile of sand nearby. I hope the construction guys know what they're doing. Steve, the more industrious of the 2 workers. I'd really like to know why he's drilling holes in my castle. Hey, Steve.
Yeah?
Why are you drilling holes into the castle?
Oh, it's simple. The foundation walls are full of water from extinguishing the fire. They suck it up like a sponge. If we don't get the moisture out of the walls, then the whole castle will start to go moldy.
And the water just runs out of the holes? I can't believe that.
Of course not. I'm drilling the holes for these cartridges. There's liquid in them, which crystallizes in the wall and binds the water.
Oh, right. Do you work for free?
No, sir. But unlike Greg, I believe you've got enough money. You have, haven't you?
I own a castle, don't I?
Oh, of course. I was just saying. I mean, you hear all the stories nowadays about poor nobility, and the castle ain't exactly in tip-top condition.
I'm sorting it out. That's Greg. He watches Steve while he works. Hi, Greg.
Hey, Adrian. What's up? Have you sorted out the finances?
Why are the books all spread around the floor of the library?
You'll have to ask Miss Antolini about that. She'd often pick up a book. Didn't have much to do by the looks of things. Was reading all the time.
Where's this Miss Antolini got to, anyway? She wasn't even at the funeral.
What do I know? Probably back in the convent. Ask the priest. They both back to the same team.
And you were asked to renovate the castle by her?
Correct. Headhunted us. We were working for old Murray before, for a pittance. We get twice as much here.
The medical equipment in Victoria's room, is it gonna be picked up at some point?
I suppose so. I bet they aren't cheap. I'm sure the diocese will come for them.
There's no light in the cellar.
Oh no, it's going to stay like that for the time being. The water used to put out the fire flooded the whole cellar, and there are electrical wires all over. Much too dangerous.
I think that'll be enough to start with.
Yep, that looks good.
Are you gonna continue working now?
That depends. Have you got anything for me?
The banister in the hall could be replaced.
The carpenter's doing that already, but it's going to take a few weeks until it's finished.
The kitchen looks like crap. When's it gonna be tidied up?
As soon as we get more jacks. At the moment, the roof would fall on your head if you did anything in there.
What can you do?
Well, everything you have to as a handyman here in the village. Wallpaper, paint, lay floorboards, a bit of wiring.
I'm sure we'll find something. The tea room.
Finished it yesterday.
And why is there a huge moldy patch on the wall?
There was water in the walls from the fire. I dried out everything professionally before I put the wallpaper up.
Can't have been that professional. It's back again.
Then I'll have to order a tin of X-Mold.
That won't come before next week, right?
Well, I can see you're an optimist.
The castle itself is already sinister enough, but the soot on the facade makes it look like something out of a haunted house backdrop. I ought to get it removed. Hi, Greg.
Hey, Adrian. What's up? Have you got any work for me?
The facade could do with having the soot removed from it. I'm sure you've got a brush somewhere.
Yes, it's just... Miss Antolini said the facade wasn't that important.
Do I look like Miss Antolini?
All right, Adrian. I'll get to work.
And from now on, it's Sir Adrian, if you will.
Huh? The telephone. Who could that be?
Hello? Oh, hello, Dr. Winterbottom. How are you?
Hello, Adrian. That's just what I wanted to ask you.
Everything's okay so far, thanks.
You're already 5 minutes late for our hypnotherapy session. I have some other appointments and really don't want to have to move them.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'll be there as soon as I can.
All right. See you soon, Adrian.
There were stars right in the middle of the hole in the ground.
What kind of hole? The hole Angelina fell into?
Yeah, and when I looked around, at first I couldn't see anything, only blackness. And then I saw something in the darkness. Small, flickering points of light. Until I realized that they were stars and they were shining there beneath the ground.
Well, that's a beautiful image.
They were laid out like a constellation.
Which constellation?
I don't know. Apart from Ursa Minor and Ursa Major, I don't recognize any of them.
Well, I think I do. Draw the stars for me again, Adrian. Maybe I can match them to the right constellation. Constellations generally represent mythological figures. Maybe that has some significance here. It looks a little like the Corona Borealis, the Northern Crown. But this is made up of 7 stars, not 6. The Northern Crown is also open at the top, seen from the Northern Hemisphere. So, it depends on where you're looking at it from. The Corona Australis, the Southern Crown, is open at the bottom, which could also fit here, judging from the shape. But it has more stars, namely 11, if you count the binary stars as 1. Are you sure that there's nothing missing from your drawing?
Yeah, quite sure. 6 stars. It looked exactly like that.
And I can't help you any further. I don't know of any constellation which looks like that.
Well, never mind. It may not mean anything at all.
Perhaps. But if it's important to you, then it will be revealed sooner or later, Adrian. You can be sure of that. And how are you otherwise? I mean, as the brand new lord of the manor.
Weird, I guess. Everything seems so surreal. I mean, I've spent my whole life in Boston as Darren. And now I'm here calling myself the last Gordon. And sitting all alone in a half-burned down castle full of ghosts. It's lucky the construction guys are there. Otherwise, I'd soon be getting the feeling that I was a ghost myself.
I'm still here too, Adrian. You aren't all alone. Did you have the chance to say goodbye to your great-grandmother?
Yes. That was good. She gave me a few things to take with me as I follow my destiny.
May I ask what her last words to you were?
She told me how I can find peace in my soul. I shouldn't go down the same route as my father, but go to the bitter end and start at the Menhirs.
At the Menhirs?
That's what she kept repeating. At the Menhirs, at the Menhirs. They seem incredibly important.
Then you should take note of her advice.
I'd better take the drawing with me. Perhaps I'll have some use for it.
Oh, Mr. Michaels, it's good you're here. I wanted to come and see you.
See me? Why? Has someone else been murdered?
That's not entirely clear yet, but there has been a death at your castle on your estate.
What? You're kidding, Zach.
That's something I would never do, Mr. Michaels. Please, accompany me to the castle. The inspector would like to talk to you.
I'm coming.
Here, come and look, see? That's the place. That's where Gregory was killed. But they have already taken him away.
Right by a stone skull.
There's nothing more to do here.
I take it the inspector wants to talk to me, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
And he's gone ahead and is waiting for me in the castle, right?
It would appear so.
Ugh. It's blood. Greg's blood. I just can't believe he's dead. Killed by a skull. Unbelievable. And what's this here? Black mildew? Strange. I always thought mildew grew in dark and airless places. Funny to find it growing here in this well-ventilated spot. The castle really seems to be slowly decaying. It's high time it was renovated. An even better idea would be to fumigate it thoroughly.
Sir?
Yes?
Can you spare a moment?
About Gregory?
Yeah, that too.
Can you tell me exactly how the accident happened?
The stone skull from up there hit Greg.
Yes, I thought so. But how could that happen?
I don't know. Greg was on his own out here. He was gonna clean the facade, like you said. Perhaps he took a break for a little pee, and when he was walking under the skull, bang!
I guess the ancient stone had been weakened by the fire. It just broke off. Maybe the vibrations of the drill shook the wall, and then the loose chunk simply fell down.
You can tell yourself that if you like, but if you ask me, nothing happens here just like that. This castle is jinxed, and everyone knows it. The walls are alive. When we bricked up holes, they were there again the next day. And it was just like that with the skull. It was just waiting for someone to stand under it before it fell down. That's how I see it. Well, please don't be offended, sir. But I don't want to be next.
What does that mean, Steve? Are you quitting?
Yeah. I'm sorry, sir, but I should have listened to my wife. She didn't want me to work here from the very beginning. Better to work for Murray without paid breaks than in the Black Mirror Castle without a head. That's what she said. And I should have listened to her.
Steve, please, wait.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. And if I may give you some advice, find someone to buy the castle off you. Some rich acquaintances of yours from America. And until then, don't stand still under a stone skull.
Inspector, I'm sure there are a few questions you want to ask me.
But you know, I can actually predict what your answers are going to be. I know you, and I'm sure you'll have a watertight alibi.
Yeah, I was with Dr. Winterbottom anyway. Exactly as set out in my bail conditions. Ask your constable.
Bravo! A cast iron alibi. You see, I didn't even have to waste my breath talking to you. I'll just have a look around here in this big castle full of old works of art that must be worth a fortune. I'll find out what I need to know from wandering around this huge estate, Mr. Legacy Hunter.
That's enough! I'll have no more of your insults. I don't know what you're busy figuring out in that miserable little skull of yours, and I don't want to know. I'm not any old castle creeper fumbling around aimlessly and who takes the blame for everything bad that happens. I am a landowner and the master of Black Mirror Castle, a powerful lord. And what are you? A small-time disgraced cop. So get out of here, now.
Okay, Adrian.
Sir Adrian Gordon to you from now on. And don't come nosing around here again until you've got a search warrant. Wow, that was long overdue. I won't take this anymore from anyone.
I'm not just anyone, I'm a Gordon. And not just any of them, I am the only one. The last of the weakling Marcus line will be the first of the mighty Mordred line.
Yeah, from now on, I'm alone in the castle. Nobody else here. At last, I can have some peace. Nobody wants anything from me, no alibi, no money, nothing at all. I mean, apart from my ancestor, who just wants to take ownership of my body. I better not waste any more time in finding out what Victoria meant when she said all that stuff about the Menhirs. What did I just say? Nobody wants anything from me. What's that? Oh, I guess someone rang at the front door.